Greg is known for his forthrightness and sense of humor, which frequently appear in his marriage criticism. Greg has shown his fun attitude on occasion by sharing amusing stories about married life on his show and in interviews. These instances show that Greg isn't all serious and appreciates the fun side of relationships, which is something his followers love. Now we return to the enigmatical disappearance of Greg. Can you make any educated guesses as to what could have transpired? The extended time that Greg Gutfeld has been absent from his shows, especially The Five, has caused many people to wonder what's going on with him. A lot of people are starting to wonder if the famous Fox News host has been let go. Fans of Greg's insightful analysis and biting humor have noticed his absence, as he is a major magnet for viewers on the network. The persistent lack of communication has stoked speculation that he could be embroiled in a scandal that could result in his dismissal. His absence has sparked speculation among some fans who believe it may be due to an argument over content or an issue behind the scenes. Some have speculated that Greg is following a trend at Fox News, which has fired prominent hosts like Tucker Carlson and Bill O'Reilly in the past when they were involved in scandals. Adding fuel to the fire, Greg's co-hosts have kept The Five going strong on the network, discussing important political, social, and economic topics even without him. The show's chemistry is still there, but without Greg, there's a clear hole, and people are wondering what happened. Some of his admirers have speculated that a comparable occurrence may be the cause of his unexpected departure, given that he is not afraid to express his thoughts, which can be divisive. Greg Gutfeld's dismissal from Fox News has been the subject of much speculation, but so far, no solid proof has surfaced. Actually, he updated his Fox comedy show's airtime on X not long ago. His continued involvement with the network is evident in the piece, where he discussed the most recent guests featured on the show. Thanks to this update, a lot of fans are feeling better about Greg taking a little break and avoiding major consequences. On top of that, Greg has established a solid rapport with both his viewers and the network throughout the years. A staple of Fox's roster, thanks to his one-of-a-kind style and hilarious antics. It seemed implausible that the network would fire him without making an official statement, given his popularity. Fox and its former high-profile hosts have both issued formal statements in the past when the network ended its relationship with them. No one seems to know why Greg was not there. Unrevealed health concerns, a planned vacation, or other private circumstances could be to blame. There is no solid proof to back the claim that he has been sacked, so supporters are left to conjecture in the absence of specific information. Viewers will have to hold tight until Greg gets back on the show or until the host or network issues a formal statement. It would appear that his absence is only temporary at this point, and the reports of his dismissal are merely rumors. Rumors. Greg may have taken a break to attend to his mental health, according to the most popular theory among the several that have surfaced. The stresses of working in the spotlight and the media make Greg's decision to take a break for self-care and relaxation all the more understandable. Many famous people have made mental health a priority in recent years, and the subject has gained a lot of attention. In the same vein as other celebrities who have spoken publicly about their battles with mental health, viewers have voiced their support for the notion that Greg might be taking a sabbatical to manage stress or personal issues. The idea that Greg might be sick and so unable to attend is another thought that has emerged. His admirers have begun to wonder if he was secretly coping with some kind of health problem. Nonetheless, there has been zero mention of Greg being sick in the media as of late, so this theory appears less plausible. Many assume that the media or the network would have revealed his illness if it were the cause, since he has refrained from making any public remarks regarding his health. No one could have foreseen the delightful surprise that was really Greg's true absence. Viewers were caught entirely unaware when the mystery behind Greg Gutfeld's abrupt departure from Fox News was eventually solved. It was quite some time before the 60-year-old presenter returned to The Five. Audiences to question if he had been fired by the network. Gutfeld, 60, became a father, which seemed to surprise a lot of people. Last week, fellow The Five co-host Dana Perino made the announcement live on air. "A lot of you are going to be very surprised by this," Perino declared. "You may have observed that our friend Greg Gutfeld has been absent for a few weeks, and there's a valid explanation. He emailed me this statement earlier today. And thus, I am reading this in the role of Greg. We are overjoyed to announce the birth of our daughter, a daughter to my wife Elena and me. Mira has a full pair of lungs and is in good health." A touch of comedy was incorporated in Greg's announcement, as is his wont. "She possesses both Alana's stunning eyes and my toned abs. She is being subjected to strenuous exercise regimens and the instruction of 3 languages. It was reported. Furthermore, he couldn't help but poke fun at fellow host Jesse Waters. She has a keen eye for detail. Has inquired as to whether Jesse uses a hairpiece. A wig is clearly something that he wears, I told her, Greg teased in his post. Also sharing personal news on social media was Greg Gutfeld, who finished his post with a humorous aside about his French bulldog. Please know how much we appreciate the well wishes and how much we cherish our privacy. Well, I'm off to stop Gus from licking her face now. Each of the 5 hosts offered congratulations to Gutfeld in their own unique way. Our presence is felt, Perino stated. Changing diapers isn't part of it. We are relishing the time apart, Waters chimed in. Go at your own pace. Some were surprised by the announcement, even though followers were showering him with congratulations on his unveiling. One Twitter user couldn't believe it. It was the last thing I expected to be the reason for his absence. Impressive turn of events. Now that he's gone, I can forgive him. I never saw that coming, was also tweeted by another shocked person. Have you? Just heard the news, another person added. To my surprise, I'm delighted for them. Holy cow! While Greg oversaw the UK edition of Maxim from 2004 to 2006, Elena was a photo editor there. Their affair began during her time in London. Among the many holiday-themed images that the Fox News host shared with his 541,000 Instagram followers on Christmas Day was a sweet photo of his French bulldog, Gus, relaxing on the couch. In addition, Greg noted that, as is his wont, he did not purchase any presents for me this Christmas. However, he did leave what appears to be coal in the center of the drawing room. After the true cause for Greg's absence was exposed, fans are excitedly waiting for him to come back to the show. Americans have been pondering Greg's whereabouts. According to guest host Kat Timpf, all the riddles have been answered. The much-loved Greg Gutfeld show presenter will be absent from Fox News until the new year begins in January. He is enjoying some downtime with his family to soak up all the parenthood thrills. Greg, who recently became a father, has decided to leave his rigorous job in order to fully immerse himself in this thrilling new phase of his life. Greg wants to be there for his child during these formative years, therefore he has decided to put family first. Recognizing the significance of spending time with loved ones and relishing in the unique experiences that come with becoming a father, his admirers have voiced their strong approval of his decision. Although he will be missed, supporters are getting more and more pumped up for his comeback, hoping he brings a new outlook and new vigor. Fans can't wait for Greg to return to Fox News in January 2025. They can't wait to see how his time with his family impacts his profession and humor. In the meantime, Greg is making the most of his newfound role as a father by taking it easy. Fans and viewers of The Five are perplexed by Greg Gutfeld's conspicuous absence. His mysterious disappearance has been the subject of much speculation for weeks, with many attributing it to anything from health problems to scandals. Fox News has just verified what everyone suspected about his abduction. How long will he be gone for, and what is the true cause behind his absence? Follow along as we reveal the shocking circumstances surrounding Greg Gutfeld's sudden departure and the future plans of the adored anchor. The late-night talk show Gutfeld, hosted by Gutfeld, is consistently the most-watched show on late-night television. Along with his fellow cast members, he is a part of the most popular show on the most popular cable TV network, The Five. If that's the case, he may easily have more viewers than any other cable news host. Among the smarmiest, he is perhaps rivaled only by his co-host on The Five, Jesse Waters. That's more of a recognition of the brand than an actual complaint. Gutfeld is famous for it. In recent times, Gutfeld has not been seen on television. Plus, the inevitable question arises, has he been fired? Whenever someone is absent from a few shows, the public begins to speculate. Unless he experienced some other event? It occurs with both local and national television news. If it were up to Gutfeld, though, do you honestly believe they would terminate such a beloved figure? Before I tell you why Greg isn't here, I want to point you that anything can happen in this unpredictable world. I'd like to tell you something startling that happened in his life. Do you have any idea what the cause is before we tell you? Greg Gutfeld has been a mainstay on the right-wing cable news network Fox News for over 10 years, so fans recognize him. Before being chosen to host the network's satirical midnight show, Red Eye, Greg started out as a contributor in 2007. There, his politically incorrect sense of humor flourished, and he gained a devoted following among insomniacs, overactive bladder sufferers, breastfeeders, and meth addicts, as he had previously joked to the Daily Beast. Gutfeld has enough to do at Fox News besides getting laughs at late hours. Daytime audiences also saw him on The Five, a daily panel show where he was one of 5 regulars and offered his usually biased take on the day's news, in addition to Red Eye, where he offered his contrarian thoughts. Anyone who watches Greg Gutfeld knows he leans libertarian on the political right. But conservatives can't say he was always one. In an interview with Reason from 2009, Gutfeld reflected on his liberal leanings when he was a teenager. Gutfeld eventually realized he was a fraud, as he related. This was especially true when he was an undergrad at left-leaning Berkeley. Evidently propelled by his individualist disposition, his political beliefs underwent a transformation throughout his time at university. The more time I spent among liberals, the more conservative I got, and vice versa, he said. Something clearly unites the two factions, the left and the right, you see. Each one's moralizing is its weakest feature. Beginning his career in magazine journalism with the conservative journal The American Spectator, Greg Gutfeld began his pursuits after graduating from college. Reason said in its profile that Gutfeld went on to edit Men's Health, Stuff, and Maxim's British edition, among others, after a failed foray into screenwriting. Although his irreverent perspective was well suited to racy men's magazine Stuff and Maxim, even Gutfeld conceded that editing Men's Health wasn't a great match. In an interview with Reason, he said, "I smoke and I work at Men's Health." He claims to have been the sole editor of a health magazine to publish an article arguing that smoking had health benefits. Throughout his stint on Red Eye, Greg Gutfeld often caused more trouble than he bargained for with his absurd outbursts, which he would later admit were an attempt to garner attention. An instance where he made fun of Canada's involvement in the Afghan war fits this description. Gutfeld reportedly brought up a recent announcement that Canada's soldiers could need a year of recuperation time after pulling out of Afghanistan while speaking with CBC News. Gutfeld made a joke about how the Canadian military is looking for a break to practice yoga, create landscapes, and go for runs on the beach while wearing beautiful white capri pants. Peter MacKay, who was the Canadian Defence Minister at the time, was among those who reacted angrily to Gutfeld's joke, calling it crude, inappropriate, and downright vile. Subsequently, Gutfeld did apologize, reiterating that his joke was not meant to belittle the work of the troops. "My statements might have been misconstrued," I thought to myself. "I deeply regret any offense I may have caused to the courageous Canadian service members and their families." Greg Gutfeld's insults to Canada were only one of many times he made contentious comments. He voiced his opposition to plans to build a mosque and community center for Muslims on the site of Ground Zero in Lower Manhattan on his blog, The Daily Gut, in 2010. Intending to construct and launch the inaugural gay bar that serves both Western and Islamic homosexual men, adjacent to the proposed mosque. The construction of the mosque is completely within their rights, in my opinion as an American. Who are we to stop them if they purchase the land lawfully? That is why I have chosen to do the same thing, since I believe in outreach, he went on to say. According to Gutfeld, this is not funny. Bringing up the fact that Islam frowns upon homosexuality, hence, I am constructing this bar. He asserted that he sought to dismantle obstacles and lessen the lethal homophobia within the Islamic community. When asked about his thoughts on cancel culture, Greg Gutfeld did not hold back. He spoke frankly about the dangers of social media in an interview with Outkick. Only by providing a forum where anyone may post foolish ideas that might hurt them in the long run. Even though Gutfeld may use Twitter more as a promotional tool than a digital soapbox, it doesn't silence him when he wants to express his beliefs. Not only has Greg's marriage been the subject of much speculation for quite some time, but so have his professional issues. On Fox News and his show, Gutfeld, Greg Gutfeld is known for expressing his outspoken and colorful political views. Little is known about Gutfeld's private life. Elena Musa, a Russian photo editor and stylist about 20 years his junior, is his wife. When it comes to Instagram, Musa almost never mentions Gutfeld. In contrast, he did not share any photos of his wife after 2020, despite the fact that he used to do it very often. Gutfeld chose to share photos of lunch dates and casual family outings, so even at that point, there was little to no indication of their relationship in the posts. March 2022 was an outlier for the 5 co-hosts. Gutfeld explained his mother-in-law's plight in Ukraine and his attempts to arrange for her to be flown out in response to Russia's invasion. Perhaps she will be reunited with her kid by tomorrow or the day after that. He praised the co-workers who had supported his family and said it was all because to the Fox News crew. 2 months down the road, he gave an unusual look into the dynamics of his family life by celebrating his mother-in-law. Greetings to Elena's mom on this Mother's Day. As he captioned the May 2021 Instagram image, he expressed his gratitude for creating the most incredible thing in his life. Gutfeld and Musa's relationship has endured and endured even more, despite the enormous age difference between them. With the support of his Fox News co-workers in 2024, Greg Gutfeld, who was born in September 1964, celebrated his Big 6-0. Elena Musa turned 42 a little over 2 weeks ago, although she was much younger than that. This indicates that the age gap between them is nearly 18 years. Considering Gutfeld and Musa's length of time together, that's a significant age difference. In a civil ceremony that took place in New York towards the end of 2004, at the age of 22, she was married to him, who was 40 years old. It would appear that the age difference was never an issue. Meeting Musa at a seminar in Portugal solidified Gutfeld's belief that she was his soulmate, despite her youth. I asked Maxim, Russia's editor, who is this woman, upon first glance. In 2015, he spoke to the Daily Mail about his experience of playfully hitting on a woman for 3 days. About 5 months after that, they tied the knot. Afterwards, Musa decided to pursue a career in fashion design. She attended Parsons School of Design and graduated in 2017. Musa reportedly made a series of dramatic turbans that investigate the connection between paper and fabric while she was a student at Parsons. Many people look up to the pair because of how steady and private their relationship is. Greg and Elena's relationship has remained strong despite the public scrutiny and difficulties that many celebrity spouses endure. It is admirable that they are able to keep their personal lives apart from the public eye while yet supporting each other's careers.